What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we are on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. I am Matt Primo, joined by Josh Primo.
What's up, bitches?
This week, we are here to review John Wick 4. I've already reviewed the first three movies on the podcast. I did those, I don't know if it was last year, the year before. I don't know, but they're both on the channel and they're several episodes ago. So you can go check out those first three reviews if you want. This is the first one that I'm doing with Josh. And this is a brand new release on Blu-ray. It just came out, not Blu-ray, but digital within the last couple weeks. And then the Blu-ray comes out, I think, towards the end of June, if I'm not mistaken. I got that steelbook pre-ordered. I'm fucking ready for it. But just before we even start the episode, I absolutely love the John Wick series. Do you too, sir?
I've always been a fan. Yes, yes.
And I'm very excited to not only see this movie but to review it as well. But before we jump into the review, if you like what we're doing here and you want to consider supporting us, go to patreon.com/2game. That is the number 2. Supports at any of those tiers, and then you get access to our Discord and a whole bunch of other exclusive content that you go and get by going to patreon.com/2game. We greatly appreciate your support there. In the next month or two, we are going to be relaunching all of our podcasts, all of our content, and we're going to be moving in, or I say we, I'm going to be moving into a studio and get out of the bathroom finally. So it's going to be a fucking upgrade, bitches.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But without further ado, let's jump into John Wick Chapter 4. John Wick uncovers a path to defeating the High Table, but before he can earn his freedom, he must face off against a new enemy and with powerful alliances across the globe and forces that turn old friends into foes. This was directed by Chad Stahelski. I'm probably saying that wrong, but go fuck yourselves. He has directed all the John Wick movies up to this point. This movie had a budget of $90 million and it grossed $431.9 million. It stars Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Bill Skarsgård, and Donnie Yen. It has a runtime of a beefy, very, very beefy 2 hours and 49 minutes. It was released on March 24th, 2023. Do you have any fun facts or anything like that before I jump into mine, sir?
No, I sure don't, man.
So the Paris subway station where Wick meets the Bowery King and Winston is often seen in films. This station in particular has an unused platform, fully functional, and it's specifically used for filmmakers. They can rent it out. So the public can't use it, but filmmakers use it. So when they use it, when they need like a subway station, that's where they go. Kind of cool. Keanu went through 12 weeks of training in martial arts and stunt driving to do as many of the action sequences as possible. This is the longest John Wick movie, and it's over an hour longer than the original movie. And then Keanu Reeves speaks only 380 words in this entire movie. And I'm pretty sure 200 of those words is, yeah.
Touche.
You know, it's one of those things where, look, I get it. I'm pretty sure everything that comes out of his mouth is going to be, yeah. But it's so fucking cool, okay? It's so, like,
I love
badass.
how he always pauses everything he says. He's like, yeah. I'm like, wow, that was dramatic.
Yeah. I think I'm ready. I think I'm gonna need a gun.
Yeah.
Dude's channel is inner Point Break in here. Yeah, dude. So, what did you think about Chapter 4, sir?
I'm conflicted, man. I'm conflicted. I liked it, but I didn't at the same time. It's not my favorite of all of them. I can tell you that. I felt like it was kind of flat. While the action sequences were pretty badass now, but it felt like I got bored in it in certain spots. I mean, is that even possible with all that action? Just,
It's weird
I'm
coming from you
completely.
because you're usually an action guy. I need that fucking action, or I'm gonna be bored. And
I
someone
mean,
gives you they
there
give
was a
you
lot of
action, and
fucking.
you still bitch about it.
There was a lot of fucking action in it. Now, I don't know. I'm torn. I don't know. I think the other three were just so much better.
So I will agree with some of those sentiments. I'm curious to know how many fucking people die in this damn movie. There's a fucking lot.
There's a lot.
I'm pretty sure he killed as many people as words that he said. Like everybody dies in this movie just about. Um, I do think that the movie being at almost 3 hours long is it's a little bit excessive. It's a little bit excessive. I think this movie could have been a little tighter, a little bit more
Shout out.
compact. Shout out to that. I set you up for that one. I believe that okay, if you want to make the movie a little bit longer, that's fine. But did it need to be 2 hours and 45 minutes longer? I don't think so. I think we could have cut out the whole stuff with the German obese dude. I forget what his name is, but it's Scott Atkins that plays him in a fat suit. You know what I'm talking about, where they play poker?
That was probably my least favorite action sequence scenes with that guy.
I mean, you cut out that, and you're cutting out what 10, 12, 15 minutes, something like that. I mean, I think that would have been fine if they would just cut out that entire sequence and just left
Yeah,
it on the
yeah.
left on the cutting room floor. So that's really my biggest issue with that movie is just that one section of movie. Um, I do think they are very methodical in how the movie starts. It kind of just jumps right the fuck into it, and people are. I mean, High Table Dude just dies out of fucking nowhere, right? And I will say this that I will never get tired of gunfights on horses. That's fucking badass to me.
It was like a Rambo throwback there to me.
Yeah, right. So personally, I really, really liked the movie. It is my least favorite out of the four.
I agree.
But
I think if it was just shorter, I think it would have hit all the right spots.
shout out to that.
I mean, let's talk about the longest uh, fall down a pair of stairs in cinema history.
Dude, that's so fucking funny.
I was like, I was like, man, at any point you can stop flying down the stairs.
What it's funny that you mentioned that because there's a lot of dark humor just laid in all of these sequences. I mean, he runs out of ammo and he just throws it at the motherfucker and hits him in the
That was a good one.
But yeah, I mean, he climbs these stairs, gets all the way to the top, and then gets knocked all the way to the bottom. And you think the scene is over, you think he's done falling, and then he continues to fall.
It was like the Family Guy, man. You're like, oh, he's done. No, he's not done yet.
And then what? He fights the guy for what, like another 30 seconds, and then he gets knocked further down the stairs.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, you got to climb 230 stairs again.
Uh, what I thought would have been really cool because what did he say? He had like 2 or 3 minutes to get up to the top. I thought it would have been cool if they would have timed it perfectly to where he got to the top in 3 minutes, but they didn't. I timed it. It didn't work.
No, I
It was a lot
didn't
longer.
look into. I didn't go into that much.
Yeah. I was like, we have 2 or 3 minutes to get to the top. I'm like, I wonder if they're going to do something really badass here and just truly try to do it in 3 minutes. And they didn't. I was like, oh, I'm let down.
Hmm, that would have been cool. Well, what you think about this? Is the first time I've seen an overhead shot.
Bro.
I have really dug that.
You talking about the dragon breath cannon fires that he was doing?
Yeah, and the camera's on looking. I guess that would be north up or something, and
Bird's
you're
eye.
looking down. Yeah.
That's
Wow,
a
you
better
got to
word.
say. I can see how you came up with that. But you really don't ever see that in action sequences, and I kind of dug it.
I don't think I've ever seen it. That was one of my favorite scenes in the entire
Yeah, that
movie. That shit was dope.
That
And
gun he had was cool as hell.
what? And what made that scene even better is it's like one long ass take, and he's just going from room to room killing folks. And I'm like, dude, that's so fucking badass.
Dude, that's so John Wick right there.
To me, that scene and then the the roundabout in Paris,
Yeah.
those two scenes are what's going to bring me back to watch this movie more than once. Those
Oh
two
yeah,
scenes were
those were the best.
those are two of the I would put those up with any other action sequences in the John Wick series. Those are probably the two best action sequences. But now that I'm trying to think of it, what other action sequences are so memorable or more memorable than the two ones that we just mentioned?
It was that one. What was that one you sent me? It was the clip, and they were shooting out with the police in the street.
Oh.
Oh,
I meant just in John Wick in general. That's Heat that you're talking about.
yeah. I would put that the one when they're in the house with that flare gun up against the heat.
The Heat one was good, man. It was fucking
It was. It was.
good.
I need to do a side by side comparison and see, but that was a badass shot, and it reminded me of that one. I was like, I wonder if that would be if we consider this better than Heat or on level with it.
the, the thing that puts the Heat sequence, I think, one of the best of all time is the fact that it's done practically and like real gunfire and all that shit. I think that's what kind of sets it apart. But yeah, I mean, these are two fucking good ones, man.
It was good, man. That's why I'm so torn with this. It feels like it was too long of a movie, but man, just those two sequences just make me want to love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still from a film perspective, it is still a good movie from beginning to end. And for people out there, whether or not, oh, should I go watch this? Should I spend, 25, $30? Look, I am very much biased in my opinions about this franchise because I absolutely love them. I remember watching the first one when I worked at Stone County, and we all watched it together. And I was like, every 5 seconds, I was like, goddamn, like dudes was getting killed left and right in awesome ways. I absolutely loved it. So I've been in love with the series ever since that movie came out on DVD. And I still would recommend this to folks even if you're not a fan of the series, you need to go back, watch the first three, and then watch this one, obviously. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's hell. I still think it's a great movie. It's just the rewatchability of it is not as high as the first three.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have a problem with hearing their dialogue?
I don't think so.
It felt like it was too low. Like I would have to turn the TV up really loud for them to talk, and then as soon as an action sequence came through, it busted the speakers out.
That could be old age.
Oh, you're a fucking dick.
this guy he tried to think of a comeback, but he couldn't do it.
I was fuck. I
You got
was.
hey, you got to do some of those word searches and shit to kind of build that brain power up, man.
Yeah.
You're related to Dad, man. You're not as quick as you used to be.
Oh hell.
That makes me so sad. So, just some other things that I really loved about this movie was the score. Look, I don't listen to EDM, electronic dance music, outside of this movie by any means. This is just not my jam. But there is just something about EDM and then John Wick killing folks left and right that is so fucking badass.
Yeah, I mean it was hitting.
Like that shit gets me hyped, man. Gives me hype.
It was hitting. It was hitting.
And then
I'm not gonna join a rave or nothing, but it was hitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same way, same way. I'm not gonna go out and take LSD or anything like that, but fuck, I was enjoying my time listening to it, watching it. So we need to talk about a couple of things before we cut out, and that is mainly the story aspect of it. I love the aesthetic of them changing locations and them going to the Osaka Continental, with the colors and the set designs and whatnot. I feel like they made it a little bit more unique in comparison to the other movies, and that's kind of the thing that's the problem you kind of run into when you have four movies is how do we do something different? And you can kind of see a lot of similarities between all four movies. I mean, let's just call it like it is, guys. There's typically a fight in an art gallery every single fucking movie. Have you noticed that?
That is true. That is true.
With the glass panels and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is very true.
I don't know if that's like they're paying tribute to the first three movies or if that's a returning gag or I don't know. But it does feel a little samey when they do that for the fourth fucking movie in a row. But going to Japan and doing putting that Japanese aesthetics all the way around, great. And then the what's his name? Sonata, the main Japanese actor,
Hmm.
the father. One of my favorite Japanese actors, by the way. He's in a lot of great Japanese action movies. I guess you can, yeah, for lack of a better word. Um, like The Last Samurai, he's in that one, and it's a fucking great movie. Josh wouldn't like it, but it's a great movie. Uh, so I do like how they did change up things enough in this, but overall the story was fine. How do you feel about them quote unquote ending it or not ending it? Because apparently there's a John Wick 5 coming out.
I at first it threw me off, but I kind of like it because it opens up for many different avenues. Because John Wick's not dead, just John Wick is the character. You know what I mean, motherfucker?
I know
Don't
what you
even.
mean. John Wick isn't dead, but John Wick is dead. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I ain't gonna fuck with you too hard on that one.
I don't even know why I do this.
But how does he come? But how do you? If the assassin John Wick is dead, how do you bring him back for an assassin? Let's kill everybody movie when he's not the assassin anymore. So I don't know. I feel like that they could just rode off into the sunset with this one.
I feel like it was done that way because he's always been trying to revenge his wife's death, and I think he's finally at peace with that aspect of his life.
When
And I feel like
well,
it's going to be like a Rambo reboot where Rambo's like in Vietnam and just chilling, and I don't help you, and all that. That's what I feel like it's going to be.
where his voice is so deep you can't even understand what he says anymore.
Yeah, 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 and he's always sweaty. I'm like, bro, you just like sweat all day.
Have you ever been to Vietnam? I'm assuming it's fucking hot as hell over there.
I've been to Mississippi.
Right.
Same thing.
Fucking funny. He is sweaty a lot.
I'm a
he's
sweater.
he's like the Rock in any of his movies, man. That dude's always fucking pouring sweat from his head.
Hell yeah.
What about Kane? Which I think is funny because he's a blind man and his name is Kane.
I didn't even put that together. How awesome was it that he put the damn doorbell ringers on the side of those things?
I was
Doo
like,
doo.
I was like, is this dude to blow up everybody? And then it went doo doo. He shoots him. I'm like,
How'd that go
oh,
again?
got it. I'm gonna do it. What time? I was like, well, that's clever.
Somebody walked into the gas station.
Right. So how'd you feel about him as a character and a
At first I
villain?
was like, I liked him. I don't know why, because I was like, man, it's so over the top that an assassin can be blind, but I kind of liked how it happened. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Well, that's the thing with the series in general is the villains in John Wick, they tiptoe this fucking line of being almost too over the top and where it becomes kind of silly.
Hmm.
The only one that I would say really just goes way over the top is the German fat guy when
I
they're playing
hated
with the
his
cartoon.
character. Yeah, I hated his
He
character.
way too over the top. It kind of made the movie silly, which I do think this is the silliest movie out of the bunch. And I don't mean that in a huge negative because I think a lot of the silliness is done right and it's just more of dark humor and gags than it is anything. But it is the silliest movie out of the bunch.
Yeah, yeah.
I did like the Marquis dude. I did like his character, his villain. I thought they gave I mean, granted, it was almost 3 hours long, so they had no choice but to give him some screen time in this. But I thought he was very menacing. I thought he was a very good villain. Honestly, I wish they would have kind of brought him in a little sooner and made him more of a overarching villain. And then maybe this was the clash, the final clash between them two.
I enjoyed how they built his character because you got to see how he was out for nobody but himself, and then toward the end, he was kind of like, the dude didn't kill my dog. I'll let 26 million go.
We're talking about two different dudes.
Okay.
You're talking about Mr. Nobody.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. My bad. That was a lot to keep up with this movie, dickhead.
It's 3 hours long, man. I can't fucking remember everything.
Ah, damn.
But I'm glad that you brought that up because it does have that throwback. It does kind of bring it full circle to the first movie in regards to his dog dying. I mean, that's what set this entire franchise into motion was the fact that his dog died and he was getting revenge
Yeah.
on the dog. So the fact that he returns the favor by saving a dog and then someone kind of repays the favor to him. You know, one thing about this series that I can respect are the people in it. They live by a code, dude, and you can't fuck with that code.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, bro, I mean, he saved my life. I gotta pay him back. Like, there's honor amongst these assassins, and I respect the hell out of it. Man,
Yeah.
would you do that?
Probably not.
Exactly.
I'd be like, it's a dog. I'm not gonna.
And I officially lose all my supporters.
Hey, 26 million? Come on now. We can buy a new dog.
Right? So yeah, man. Overall, I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I would recommend people to watch it, especially if they're friends, if they're fans of the first three movies. I mean, you're just getting when I say more of the same, you are legitimately getting more of the same. It's almost 3 hours long. But I would recommend people go watch it. I think it's going to definitely be on my top 10 when it's all said and done at the end of the year. But with that being said, it does have its issues. It's overstuffed. There is some over the top stuff, but the action sequence are dope. The two ones that we mentioned earlier are the two best in the series, I think, and two best of all time. Uh, but yeah, I think people should go watch it. But it is my least favorite out of the four. Um, I think off the top of my head, I think the first one is still gonna be the best. The third one, I believe I have the third one as my second favorite, but I can't remember. But the first one's still the best though.
I'm surprised because I fall right in line with you on that. I kind of figured you would be on the other end of the spectrum, being like, I can't believe you had any problems with this movie. So it's kind of refreshing.
Well, I kind of had the same thing that you had, where you said it wasn't necessarily boring. It felt like it lagged a little bit, and it was right there in the middle, kind of where you said.
Yeah.
We don't agree very often.
No, we do not.
Would you end up rating it?
I'm gonna give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
Shit, it gets a star just for the 2 action sequences.
I agree there. I definitely agree there.
Well, guys, we appreciate you all joining us for this review. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good shit. Also, in the description is a link to the audio only version of this podcast, and vice versa. If you are listening to the audio only, you can click the link below and it'll send you to our YouTube channel where you can watch us in all of our gloriousness. Talk about John Wick Chapter 4. And then while you're. This guy just interrupted me.
Oh, I thought you was done. You just guys like John Wick. It keeps going.
I wish I could just keep going. No, not gonna give me that.
I'm good. No.
What a dick. What a dick. But guys, that is going to be it from us. We will catch y'all next week on another episode. Laters.
Latest.